I am not shy about correction because I know that it is necessary. And more people, I feel like, need to see it. Like, you can be corrected
Mm-hmm.
and not be like, oh, offense. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It was so funny because I just made 10 commandments, my 10 commandments. And one of the 10 commandments, if we're engaging in a relationship of any kind, is you have to be able to receive from me, and you have to be able to use your voice so I can receive from you, kind of thing. So don't have me out here just
right,
like, yeah,
because
she was following our
relationships
poles
is
and everything. It's
right.
like, you hold me accountable.
Yeah, no, because
Yeah.
relationships are a two-way street.
Mm-hmm.
They are, and that's how I am. Like, if I correct you, I need to know that not just you can correct me, but you will.
Yes.
Because if you have me out here looking crazy, I'm
And
be
I
like,
need a right then moment. I'll give you a cue, like tug on my arm or something, pull me to the side, like, yeah.
okay, here, this is what we're gonna do real quick. We're gonna pause for the calls. It's part of being a big bosom woman. I understand.
Listen, and I was like, I'm gonna have it all together and
Good.
put together. Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome back. We are here. We are here to have a conversation. My name is Ma Today, and I am the owner of You Deserve Better, the brand. This is Delia. She is the owner of Your Fruitful Womb, and she is a prenatal,
birth and postpartum.
Birth and excuse me, mom brain. A birth and postpartum doula, as well as a placenta encapsulation specialist.
Yes.
And what's funny is I had my placenta encapsulated.
I love it.
Never took it because by the grace of God, I didn't experience postpartum.
I love that.
Like,
I love
the
it.
placenta is still encapsulated.
Yeah.
So that is just off top. That's by the grace of God that you don't have to experience postpartum depression.
You don't have to. And I love the just in case. Like, I have it just in case.
That's
just in
literally
case
what
I
it was.
need it, I have it, but
that was it. And God showed up and did his thing where it's like, okay, well, yeah, great, just in case, but you didn't need it. I got you.
Yeah.
Like, that's the grace of God.
Right.
All the grace of God. Okay, well, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I appreciate you being here. Today, the subject matter is you deserve better prenatal. You deserve better pregnancies. You deserve better labor. And just the experience of it all. So you deserve better pregnancy, labor, postpartum, all the things, right? We'll figure out what the official title is for you too, but for now, that's what this conversation will encapsulate. So, first question is, what made you want to become a doula?
It's a funny story. I love it. It's a long story. So, when I was 10, it was a childhood dream. When I was 10, I just had an interest or a pull to pregnancy. I went to Cuba for the first time. My dad is Cuban, so his whole side is in Cuba.
Okay.
Met my older brother. My elder brother is handicapped at the knees from a birthing defect. He was born breech, and they just pulled him out.
Wow.
So the little kid in me was like, "Oh my God, I'm never gonna let that happen again. I'll deliver all the babies, and I'll just do it." Fast forward through life. That was 10. So fast forward through life, I just made excuses. I just didn't believe in myself. I was just, because in my mind, the only thing I knew of was an OB. So for a while, I was like, okay, I'm going to be an OB. I'm going to be an OB. Maybe high school is when I was like, it's studying is something else. So I used all the excuses like, oh, maybe I'm scared of blood like everybody else, or I'm a crybaby, so maybe something's gonna happen. I'm just cry the whole time, or I have this thing where if you tell me to do something, I gotta go pee. I gotta go pee. I'll be right back. I'm gonna save everybody. Let me just go pee.
Go to the bathroom real quick.
Let me just do that. And so I use those excuses to keep me from it.
Okay.
I still did childcare. I have my own childcare daycare at home. And so I was kind of still in the area. Fast forward, baby number 6, pregnancy number 6. In that time, and I had got married. My first kid was at 16. So then I used that as excuse, like, oh, I can't leave her for 12 hours. I can't go to medical school and how I'm gonna have her and do all the things. I just want to be in the streets. And I was like, I can't have both worlds. And so
Well, at least you wasn't gonna play with God.
I wasn't
You
gonna
wasn't
play
gonna
with
play
it.
in
I
his
wasn't
face.
gonna, I was just like, everything is here. My mom's here. I had opportunities to go off to school, medical schools, because everybody kind of seen it, but I just used the excuse of studying is not gonna be for me. And so life happened, got married, and then I just started having babies back to back, back to back. And I was like, oh, I get to stay at home with my kids. It was kind of redemption from my oldest daughter because I was a teenager. So you got to see all of it. You see me grow.
Right.
And I felt like when I got married, I was kind of like, okay, I'm grown. So I'm at home. I'm doing stay at home wife and homeschooling the children, heavily in church. And baby number 5, I felt it. Baby number 6, I was pregnant, and 5 and 6 were high risk. Everybody else was fine. 5 and 6 were high risk. Baby 5, gestational diabetes. So I was like, look, it's on both sides. My mama is a double amputee. I don't want. I'm sorry. I'll leave the pancakes alone. Please don't do it to me. Like, I'm sorry. Baby number 6. So that was a lot for me mentally. Baby number 6. It was full depression.
Wow.
I never claimed it because I was a Christian, so I didn't claim it.
But
Prayed, but it was there.
Yeah.
And me and my doctor, never happened before in life, but me and my doctor had a rapport to where she knew me, and she was like the homegirl. And prenatal appointments, we'll just talk about life and everything like that. And she seen it on me, and she was like, "What's up with you?" And I was like, "What you talking about?" She was like, "Something's up with you." And I'm not letting you leave here till you tell me what's up. And this baby, he had a mass in his lungs, and I would have to get checked weekly to make sure the mass wasn't growing. This time I have this thing with God where my kids, I don't even stress about them. Them your kids, God. That's just, I'm just here.
You and me both.
And so I was trying to tell the healthcare system, like, oh, this baby's fine.
Yeah.
He's good. And they were like, no, we need to tell you the procedures, you need to do the things. And so that was a lot mentally on me too. And the night before, my auntie heard it in my voice. She called me on the phone and was like, "What's up with you?" And I was just like, I'm just not fulfilled. Like, I love my kids and I love homeschooling and I love that they're reading because I taught them to read. They know continents and stuff because I taught them that. They know Bible scriptures because I taught them that. But it's just,
it's not what God put in you. It's not just it. Yeah.
And so she said, if time and money was never an issue, what would you do?
That is the question my mama been asking me since I was a child. That is the actual question. Wow.
Like, of course. I deliver babies. Like, you already know I'm top. And she was like, well, do it. And I was like, you tell me because I got, like, this is not, I don't even, and I know it's not the hospital. Like, it's just not that. I feel like I have too much personality. I feel like I want to be nosy. So I want to be all in your business. Doctors ain't there long enough. I need to know what happened at the baby shower. What? You gonna invite me? Okay. Like, I need that. Yeah. I want to be a part of that.
Relationship.
I want, yes. And so I knew the doctor didn't give it. I kind of thought like L&D nurse. I was like, okay, maybe I got like 12 hours to get that from you. But I was like,
you can still be here one day.
I don't want to. Yeah. And so I was just like, I don't know, but it's that. And she was like, okay, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Doctor's appointment the following day. And she seen it on me and asked if time and money was not an issue, what would you do? I was like, what in the universe?
I'm about to run up out of here.
What is going on? And I said, that's crazy. My auntie asked me that. Da, 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 da. And I was like, I would deliver babies, but it's not in the hospital. And it was funny because it was her and and a nurse in there. Now they always had to send nurses in my prenatals because me and the doctor would just talk all the whole time. We're just talking. Toni Morrison had just passed away, and I just got interested in her. And my doctor was telling me how she grew up on it. That was a school requirement, and we just clicked. And she's from India, and I just started watching like Indian matchmakers. So I was like, girl, listen,
I was in there just chatting.
I was like, when they have a wedding, invite me, and we're gonna do the things like we planning life. Like we're gonna go to India, and mom gonna cook because I want to eat the food and the whole thing. And so the nurse will be the one that time checked. Like, all right, you gotta go.
Yeah,
come on,
ma'am.
So that day, she was in there, and she was like, well, maybe it's an L&D nurse. I think it'd be great L&D nurse. You go to school for this time. I was like, and my doctor said, no, it's a doula. You need to start at a doula. That's all I'm going to tell you now. And I didn't want to act uneducated in front of my doctor. So I'm like, oh, okay. Got home, left the appointment and Googled it. And said, Google, what's a doula? What's a doula? And so I looked it up, and the characteristics was like,
spot on.
What? So then she said, I know the perfect person I want you to meet. I want you to meet Mama Hakima. She has a organization where she trains doulas and things of that nature. So I'm like, still not. I'm testing this out. Like, if we really friends,
like God ain't just told you what He told you through multiple people.
It didn't happen. So then she actually met me there.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, we know each other. Like, I done met my doctor outside the hospital. Like, you my
like
friend,
me and your
friend.
teacher
Like,
at home.
Yeah, like what you doing here, Miss Parker? You go to play shopping too? And so met her, in the first day, Mama Hakima, you just can't read her. So she's just looking at me.
Stoic.
Yeah. And then I was like, okay. And I'm telling her my story. And she was like, and we leave. That was it. Okay. And so my doctor, Dr. Mullick, was like, called me a couple hours later. She loves you. I said, who? Who loved me? Like, what? And she was like, yeah, she loves you. She wants you to come to the next course. And I was just like, okay. Went to the next course. And in the first day, I felt so shamed out of my whole life. I said, how did I have 6 kids and I didn't know this? This parts of my body, I didn't even know this. This things, features my body can do, I didn't know this. Let I had known at 15. That's what the first thing came. Let I had known at 15, I wouldn't have been a mother. I would have. I didn't get to talk with my mother about sex, about my body, about menstrual cycles. I didn't get to talk. It was kind of just like, you don't do it. Okay. That's just, you don't.
That's the Black community.
And so I'm asking legit, like, what is it? People are talking about it. I kind of just want to know what it is. I'm nosy. I kind of just want to find out. But I'm hearing things that's like, you don't do it with a boyfriend because he go dump you afterwards. So what is it? And she was just like, it's something you say no to. And I was like, okay, now I want
but
to
why?
do it more. Now I want to do it because you keep saying just say no. And now it's making me want to say yes. And so I asked my best friend at the time, and he was male. And I knew he kind of was just more popular. He was just a popular kid. And I asked him what it was. And he was like, I can show you. I can't really tell you. Afterwards, I said, what a sham. You could have told me that.
You really could have. We could have had a conversation. This could have been an email. This could have been an email.
On the 2-way. You could have hit me up and let me know this. Drew a picture of something. And so from that connection to how I originally started with my path of motherhood and sexuality and things of that nature, I was just like, dang, if I ain't know, who else don't know? If I got played 6 times, who else can play? And I felt like I was different because I had different kind of support, but it still wasn't that. And then just, I don't know if it was like one of those movie flashbacks where you just see all your birth stories, all your postpartum stories. It was just like, dang, we getting done like that. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
It's game time.
It's game time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and all I hear God saying while you were talking was Romans 8:28. For we know that all things work together for your good.
And it's in the way it played out was like that. So after I got introduced, I went to the first class. And it was conflict at home. Well, I was it was already always put in me, have peace in home rather than be right. So that course was like a wanting to be right. Oh, I want to do this course. And so when the conflict came at home of like, who's gonna keep these kids? I was just like, okay, I'll quit and I'll just go back to what I was doing. Depression hit again. I mean, hit again. And it was harder this time. Like, I was like, okay, because I recognize it now. I know what it is. And
Right.
now it's hitting me. And I had a little glimpse of hope, like a little glimpse of light when I went to the course. And now it's just like empty. And so I was like, with my then husband, listen, there's another course in a couple months. I'm going to take that course. And he was like, yeah, okay. Well, by the time that comes, we don't have the money for the course. I've been raised in Wyandotte, so I got some hood mentality. So I went and was like, so how we need to do the fees? And they were like, oh, okay, well, you need to have it by the end of the course. You need to have it paid before they get the certificate.
Got it.
Oh, I got 16 weeks. Man, we can make something happen in shady.
In 16 weeks.
Yeah. And so in one of the teacher's testimony, she talks about how years ago she had got a scholarship to take her training. Then again, I'm going to ask. So I had asked the CEO, like, her, you know what I'm saying? Y'all still got them?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah, no, that was years ago. Okay. I failed a test and got called into the office. In failing the test was like, oh, yeah, we got some money for you to cover.
Well, we know.
Okay.
All things.
Okay. Okay. The second day of training, Mama Hakima looked at me and she was just staring. And I was just like, what? It's got something on my nose? What? She was like, I don't see you as a doula. I see you as a midwife. And in my mind was like, it was kind of like, that was the word I was looking for. Like in my mind, I thought it was like old time, like, oh, don't nobody do midwives and things of that nature. She was like, no, we have some in the city. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Huh? How did I not know? I didn't have 6 kids. I ain't heard a midwife name once or the word or anything. How? And I started researching it.
Okay.
I got into it, started researching all the midwives, found one that my kind of spirit aligned with because I was nervous about it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stereotypes that comes with doulas. I have locks and I'm black and I'm a doula. So you get stereotyped in thinking that you believe one way or another. And I was coming into the realization that birth was a spiritual thing. And so I want to be real cautious about who trained me in that. Like, I didn't want to be so thirsty for the opportunity that it led me down a path I shouldn't have went down.
Yeah, that's good. No, that's great.
Yeah,
that's great.
That
Because
was
when I
always my
was
word.
looking for a midwife and doula, that was requirement one, and really the only requirement when it boiled down to it.
Okay.
Because knowing my pregnancy experience, God cut a lot of my finances out so that I couldn't pay people that He didn't want me to come in covenant with.
Got you.
While I was carrying her.
Yeah.
So when it came time to picking out a midwife, and then the midwife was like, well, you need a doula. And I'm like, well, I don't know a lot of doulas that aren't serving the God that I serve. So the one that I do know is in Washington State. I'm going to try to get her here.
Right.
Life happened.
Yeah.
She didn't get here. My mama ended up being my doula, but that was at the last minute.
Yeah.
But she was the best doula I could have had at the last minute. Like, it just, that's how God had it. But yes, absolutely.
And so in that, I researched in maybe like 3 months after being a doula, I started my midwife journey, student midwife journey. And it was funny because my first birth that I did was a mother, and this was her 6th baby. And it was pro bono, and we kind of agreed. She wanted a doula. I needed the experience for my certification. And I started getting into, it's called Call the Midwife on Netflix, and it's a series about midwifery back in like 1930s or 50s or something like that.
Okay.
Where they come into your house and it's the gutter of the gutter and we still getting it done. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be gutter. We're gonna be at alleys having babies. And I went to the birth and the doctors just wasn't listening, and she could tell them. She was like, I feel like I'm about to have this baby soon. And they checked her and she was 4 centimeters. And they were like, oh, well, we'll be back. This, it'll be a while, this and that and this. Maybe 20 minutes later, she said, Delia, this baby's coming. And I'm like freaking out because I'm like, okay, well, the doctors just said this. So she was like, this baby's coming. And I'm like, well, what do you want me to do? She was like, I want you to lift the sheet up and catch this baby. And I'm like, you want me to do what? She was like, lift the sheet up and catch my baby. And I'm like, you want me to do what? And she was like, lift it up and catch my baby. I lift it up, baby's coming out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh,
yeah.
Okay, we here.
Because at baby number 6, you know your body.
And the way she was positioned, her behind was off the bed. So if I didn't catch the baby hitting straight forward. But she has all these cords in her, so the baby would have just tied himself up in that situation. I'm calling for the nurses. Nurse, because you're not hearing the button no more.
No.
Nurse, they all run in there. What do you want? I'm like, I got a baby in my head. They like, oh, what we thought. Ma'am,
ain't nobody paying you to think.
I said, I did everybody check up in here. But, and so that was just like, I think when I caught the baby and listened to her and not, because at first I was about to panic, like, girl, don't do nothing. They said they'll be back. Like, calm down. And I'm like, I'm the only one in this room. She telling me this. I got to. I think that was the click of like, oh no, I'm about to catch babies. I thought I was big stuff. Like, I've been watching Call the Midwife. And I was there ready. I could have kept the cord if y'all told me where the scissors was at. Like, I was in the mode of it. And so I just started there, my midwife journey, the doula thing, and yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's incredible. Yeah. That's dope. Man, that's so dope.
Thank you.
It's awesome. Thank you. Okay, so let's talk numbers. Since you started, how many babies have you caught?
I really need to do better.
Or ushered into this world?
I've been a doula for 4 years, 5 years in November. And so counting my personal doula clients and midwifery, I'm at a good 150. Yeah.
Congratulations. That's
plus
awesome.
If we was just I know 150 for sure, and then plus, but I'm gonna count because all of them do count.
Yeah, no, you got to count.
Yeah, I gotta have that.
Like, how many souls have you been on the welcoming committee for?
And that the way you address that wasn't brought to me until once before, like 6 months ago, because I feel so bad if I missed a birth. Oh, it would tear me up inside. I didn't even care if it was paid, not paid. Like, how did you not call me? We talked about you calling me. Hell, I'd be so sad. And I talked to a friend of mine, Jasmine, and I was like, yeah, it takes me a long time to get over it. And she was like, because you pray. You pray in those spaces. And I was like, oh, okay. Not thinking of nothing. Like, oh, okay. And then Friday night, it was brought to me, and it was like, do you know you usher souls into this world? Do you know you call them to breathe? And it was interesting because so many times it flashed to me of a baby might be born stressed out and not breathing and the mama's like, well, I don't hear the cry, well, I don't hear the cry. I'm like, talk to the baby. Come on. Talk to your mama. Tell your mama you okay. Let your mama know you okay. And then they're like, okay, she's calm. And then now this baby is doing this to it. I'm praying down like, Father, you didn't bring us this far. You didn't bring, and in that, and then the baby calls, and I never place value to that.
There's so much value.
I never seen it like that until Friday and yesterday. It was like, no.
Like, yeah, you're welcoming souls into the earth realm.
I never. Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a huge deal. And then to be able to welcome souls into this earth realm for the glory of God.
That part. And
you was running.
I running hard, ducking and hiding. I mean, this how much I know I was ducking. There was a college opportunity. I wasn't a horrible student. Like, I was cool. I passed. Thank you, Jesus. It was tough.
By the grace.
Had to get some gifts. Like, you like Bath and Body Works? Okay, cool. You slide that to a B. Thank you. But it was a college in St. Louis, and it was good. It had the medical field I needed, and it had apartments. So if you had kids, you can stay at the apartment. They had childcare. You can go to school. And I said, that's too far from my mama. I ain't going. And
I know God knew his daughter. I knew I know he knew her. I know. He already knew that.
He already knew, so
He already knew that you was gonna end up where you was gonna end up. You was gonna say what you was gonna say. You was gonna give all these excuses. And then one thing my mama says, God got the right situation for everybody. He got the right situation for everybody.
I like that.
And it's until you get to that right situation that you might keep running.
Just be bumping hard.
But this is what I like to say is better to submit and before God have you in a headlock, like Jody was in a headlock with baby boy.
Yeah, that
because if you don't just go ahead and give him a yes, he will allow life to put you in a headlock. And then that be the situation.
You're like, okay, mercy. Okay,
I got it. I hear you.
Remember, you love me, right? You looking at me, you looking at you, right?
I'm here. I got it. Like, uncle. Uncle.
Yes.
So yeah. All right. So next question. When I say you deserve better, what does that saying mean to you?
I knew I should have brought some pictures. To be 100% transparent with you deserve better, that's how I approach me being a doula. To go all the way back, 16, have my baby at home. Just wasn't educated. I didn't get prenatal care until I was 5 months. Was hiding it. The nurses didn't really, I wasn't educated on what labor looks like, things of those natures. Called the nurse hotline. They didn't really take me serious. Ended up having my baby free birthed at home by myself, and went into the hospital afterwards. All because I was uneducated. I was not supported. No shade to my mama. Mama, I love you, but she didn't know how to help me, so she went in her room. And like she tried to help me and give me like some tea or set me up to sleep well, but she couldn't help me, so she went in the room. So I was just in there laboring and doing the things, not knowing I'm laboring. I'm just thinking I'm irritated and I can't go to sleep. So labor hit me in irritation. It didn't hit me in contractions to where I can say, oh, those are contractions. I could time them. I know I'm doing. I was just irritated all night.
Wow.
Just trying to toss and turn, trying to just like
get comfortable.
I'm making everybody mad. Oh, y'all sleeping here? Sound like y'all snoring? Sound like everybody sleeping real good? Oh, it's nice. Wish I could sleep. Couldn't sleep. Next morning, I was just like, I'm tired of this. Take me to the hospital. They're going to cut this baby out because I just want to go to sleep. Yeah. I haven't slept. Mom said, okay, put your pants on. I'm going to take you. We just had a snowstorm. I'm going to take you to the hospital. I'm going to clean out the car. She went to go clean out the car. I go get my pants. I put a leg in. And I'm like, Mom, I feel something. Can you like give me your hand? Let me feel. So, girl, I'm not putting my hand up your cootie cat. Just put your pants on and we can go. And I'm like, I don't think you gotta put it up it. Just like feel right here. She said, I'm not doing it. Put your pants on, let's go. I'm like, okay, whatever. Go put the other leg in. Daughter come out of my pants. So I was crowning, didn't know I was crowning. And I'm like, can you feel this? This feels weird. Baby come out of my pants. I'm like, we ain't even gonna make it.
Honey, the pain tolerance of Black women.
And you just count it out. I took an ibuprofen and tried to go to bed. Like I don't know if we were just trained to like, we're trained to like sleep off the pain.
It's in our DNA.
Yeah. So, and when I see people laboring now, I'm like, oh, that's what it was. Oh, I didn't know.
I wasn't privy to the experience.
And so for that, not being educated. And so when I go to become I want you to know everything about your body.
But even that still is Romans 8:28.
Mm-hmm. No, this is why, because my daughter's birthday is 1/29/05, January 29th, 05. My mother's address is 2905. I said, okay, well, okay, God. She was supposed to be here. Okay. I just
got jokes. He got jokes.
All the jokes.
And they be intentional jokes. It's like the punchlines just be hitting exactly
right at the timing of and it just be like, okay. And so being uneducated, I come really hard on if you're educated, then you know more. You can, advocate more for yourself. I was in an abusive relationship for my second daughter and made an adoption plan with my auntie and uncle.
Sorry.
Thank you. And I knew, one, I didn't want to be a baby mama and had that drama. Two, I wanted my daughter to have a mother and a father. But three, I'm nosy. So I can't send you over to New Zealand and I don't know what's going on over there. Why they do your hair like that, baby? What's going on? Bring it back.
Thine own self be
I
true.
can't. And so my auntie and uncle at the same time were looking to adopt, and they had part in raising me. And so it just kind of fit, and everything they were in their marriage and in their lifestyle, I wanted that for my children. And so I made that plan. And so being in that toxic kind of situation and still making choices that I wasn't gonna regret, because I tried to abort and I was just like, okay, God, can you please forgive me on this one? Like, it's just, the situation's jacked up. Just like, give me a free pass on this one. And it just was in my stomach. I couldn't, because I'm so nosy. So I'd be like, now what they would have looked like now? Maybe they would have had long hair, or what it would have. I would go crazy. So having that experience, bringing that experience, as a doula, my my last 4 kids, I was married. So in my mind, I made it. I'm no longer a baby mama. Like, I can have many kids I want. I'm popping out. I'm popping out too.
Be fruitful and multiply.
I would listen. That was our scripture. Listen, my pastor paid. Me and my spiritual sister, we were tag teaming. So every 6 months, she was pregnant. 6 months later, I'm pregnant. So we had matching babies. Like, we was just doing the thing. Like, okay, baby shower next week for you. Okay, the following month we're gonna do me. Okay, great. And because I was like, I'm married. I'm with Christ. These babies ain't out of wedlock. I ain't stacking it up with baby daddies no more. Like, who? Because God, we was getting close. We was about to use 2 hands. Like, wow. And I was just like, okay, cool. But I never communicated that part in my marriage. So we never talked about how will we go about pregnancy? How will we go about raising them? How will we go about support? I just kind of took the mentality of submissive wife into my pregnancy. And so I'm not going to
versus
ask
partnership.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna ask too much from you. I got it. I'm gonna still get it, and I'm gonna still cover it. And so I didn't use my voice to verbalize, "Hey, I don't want to go to appointments by myself no more. I went as a baby mama by myself. I want to go with my
as
husband.
a wife.
I need to." Baby, we different in here. I had that kind of pride about me, and I wanted that. Labor. I was my own doula. The room was packed. Mother-in-law, grandmother-in-law, my mother, husband, room packed, but nobody's really tentative
supporting
to me.
you.
Nobody's tentative to me. I have to demand rooms. I have to kick people out. Oh, you gotta get your oil changed. Go get your oil changed and leave my labor.
Please,
And
please go get your oil.
You get your oil changed, car wash, and still come back, and I'll still be right here. Like, but I had to kind of like navigate that by myself. I had to pull other people into it, no matter what the idea was. I got bad gas in labor. I don't want to smell it. So I'm gonna bring my own air freshener. Your only job is to hit it every couple of minutes. I can't set it up in here. They won't let me light no candles. Just give me a little toot and we good. Like, I don't care if you smell smells before, if you smelled all the smell. I don't want to smell them.
You got one job.
You got one job. That's it. Nurses, when you come in, hit the door. And I'm gonna know it's you. You come in, we do what we need to do. But since I didn't have that support, I realized I got epidurals to block my mind of whatever was going on. Because I can't be in pain and manage my atmosphere. So
that's
just
fair.
knock me out and just we'll have a baby. Yeah. Like, I can't think about what my body is doing to help my baby, manage y'all lives and what y'all got going, and still birth. And whatever the hospital was bringing at me
because
anyway.
it's such a vulnerable experience.
Such a vulnerable experience.
And honestly, that's part of the reason why I had my baby at home. I watched my best friend give birth in a birthing center. And then a month later, I watched my older sister give birth in the hospital. And both of their experiences, watching them have to advocate for themselves in the middle of labor, was like, yeah, I don't want this experience for myself, because there is a man named Sam Jackson that lives inside of me sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to have to flash on nobody. Like there's a man named Jesus that lives inside of
he
me.
there too.
But Sam Jackson is somewhere in there too. And I know this about myself. So
that's good. That's good. You gotta be self-aware about it.
To be vulnerable, be going through pain, be like, listen, I'm just trying to get this baby here healthy. I'm trying to get a healthy baby here. It's me and God. But like, if you're gonna be here, be supportive.
Right.
And then
agree with what I want.
Don't be a doctor and not be supportive.
Because you didn't hop on their team. And it's like, don't you know you coming home with me? Why you hopping on their team? You should be on my like it's a whole nother It is. So I brought all those experiences into me being a doula. So You Deserve Better is I had deserved better, but I didn't get it. But I can give it. And I can give it in all the aspects. I can give it to that couple who a new baby can destroy your relationship because you're used to that one too. Now you done brought a third in here. And so having that communication and still being tight foundation as the two of y'all. So y'all can be the three of y'all. Like I should have had that and I didn't. Or having that woman speak up and say, well, how do you feel supported? What can I do to make you feel supported? What can these other people do to make you feel supported? Not for us just to be here, but for you to know, like, no, you was here, but you like made an impact. Like I couldn't have moved on without that. Tell us that so I can deliver that and we can set that up for you. Like you deserve better in hospital setting. And it's only the grace of God that all my deliveries came out healthy. Babies were healthy. Didn't need NICU stays. It wasn't anything crazy of that nature, but in the room, like I feel like if I didn't have my mama to back me up in some of them, because I thought I was crazy. Like I could be mid getting the epidural, and I'm like, yeah, no, I think I'm about to have a baby, and all the doctors like, no, we're almost done. Just stay still. I can do. I'm like, nah, I think I could just really have this baby right now. And they're like, no, just is you okay? And my mama strong armed me back. I went back, had the baby, and I was like, see, like
the advocate,
she had to, and I'm thinking it's almost rude because somewhere again in the raising, you don't really talk back to the doctors. You just kind of believe them because they went to the years of schooling and they have the tuition and so they have the education, they have the white coat, so they know this kind of thing rather than what I've been feeling in my body and when I
which
could
is
feel,
the Holy Spirit,
and so you deserve better in all those aspects of, and that's why I focus on birth and postpartum so heavy. It's like we're dying in postpartum. We having postpartum depression and not acknowledging it or getting help for it. And we're going out to the deep end of it. My last pregnancy, I had to get induced because I had high blood pressure. And it broke my heart because I got induced for the previous 3.
Okay.
And I was just like, hold on, what are we doing here? Like, they are lying to me. Something is going on to where my body did this before. I had a baby at home. Like, I don't need to get induced for labor. Like, I'm going to do this by myself. I told my doctor, we're having a Target baby. I'm going to walk in Target. My water's going to break. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. And Target's going to have to sponsor me. But I'm going to go into labor spontaneous. And I'm going to come to the hospital. We're going to have this baby. That's how it's going to go. And I told her from day one, I don't want to hear nothing else. But give me your number because I'm going to call you when I'm at Target because I got to be there a little bit for them to be like, oh, we feel responsible. So here's some diapers. I gotta be there a little bit. Something. And that's how we're gonna have our baby. And so my doctor was like, okay, I'm with you. Do your thing.
Like I'm gonna keep my thoughts to myself.
Do your thing. And I came to an appointment and she took my blood pressure. And I was probably like 37, 38 weeks. And she said, okay, hold on. We gotta stop talking. Let's just stop talking. Let's be quiet. I need to check your pressure again. And I was like, okay. Because it always happened to us. We'll be running our mouth, check the pressure. It's high as heck. We calm down. Cool. She checked it again. She's like, are you feeling dizzy? Do you feel spots in your eyes? I'm like, no, I feel straight. I'm good. She was like, I don't, like, I know how you wanted to have your baby. And I know you. And I know your numbers. And this is scaring me. Like, I need to induce you right now. And I'm like, girl, quit playing with me. Y'all use this tactic. Y'all use this tactic all the time. Y'all make something up. Is this 2 weeks? Give me 2 weeks now. Calm down. And she said, Delia, I'm not playing. Like,
like for real.
you know me. You know I will give you that. If you want to be, I'll drive you to Target myself and wait till you water break. I need you to go over now. And I said, well, I got the car. I need to go get my husband. And she was like, I he 5 minutes away. I said, yeah, he 5 minutes away. I showed her on Google. She said, you have 6 minutes. Like, you need to call him, make sure he's out ready to go because you got 6 minutes. At the 7th minute, I'm calling the ambulance to come pick you up wherever you at. So I'm like, now I'm dramatic, but I'm like, oh girl,
Okay,
you doing it up.
That
Like,
6 minutes, W
yeah,
question. Like, you said you got six.
what?
That's it.
And I came back, had the baby, and I'm thinking I'm cool, go home. 2 days later, after having the baby, my sister wants to keep the older kids. And she was like, yeah, just bring them to me. I keep them. So my husband was supposed to take them. And he asked, do you want to ride with me? I'm like, I don't want to go. I just want to be in the bed. You take the kids, do the thing. He's like, no, come on, ride with me. I'm like, whatever, because you choose peace. And so ride with him and drop off the kids. On the way back, he wants to go. He's a photographer. Is a photographer. Wants to take pictures of the city.
Okay.
And he said, "Oh, let's ride downtown and take pictures of the city." I'm like, See, you're doing too much. We're just supposed to drop out the kids and come back home. I'm not doing all that. Get me home. Like, I don't feel that. He was like, come on. Again, thinking I'm dramatic.
Right.
No, see, now you're getting on my nerves. Now you're probably working my pressure. And no, just talking smack, not thinking none of it. And he was like, we get into it, whatever. And I said, see, matter of fact, just take me to like a CVS or a Walmart or something and I'm put my arm through the little pressure thing, see what it say. Hopefully it tell me like warning or something, because I don't know how to read it. I don't know the numbers. And so we go to Walmart, we get a cuff. I take my pressure. Then again, I don't know my numbers. So I don't know what nothing means.
Right.
But I need something to go along with my story now. I didn't got the cuff. I need numbers. We need to keep going to the story.
Verification.
We need something. Called a nurse hotline and told them my pressure. And they said, ma'am, how far are you from the hospital? And I was like, oh, I'm about, 12 minutes. They said, we need you here now. You got 12 minutes. And I said, so what you trying to say? It's high? Like, I'm thinking like, oh, this might be good. Hold on.
You're so optimistic. You're so optimistic.
This might be serious. Okay, serious enough. And she was like, I told my then husband, hey, they said I gotta go to the hospital. He was like, come on, you just doing too much. Like, we got you home, you good, you straight, you okay. I said, no, like the hospital said I got 12 minutes to be in there. They about to send me an ambulance. Which one you think is gonna make it first? Took me in. As soon as they hooked me up, they said something to the effect of somebody was with your time. Because if you would have been in here 5 minutes later, you would have went into a seizure, blood pressure seizure. And the only thing that stood out to me that my pressure is high was my fingers got real tight. And I was like, see, you getting on my nerves and you're making my finger tight. And I was like, dang, that wasn't a good comeback. Like, I should have came with something better than you making my finger. I'm thinking I'm making it all up in my head to add to my storyline. And they was like, no, they call blood pressure the silent killer because in Black people, we don't get assigned to it. Dang near we about to go over. And so even then I wasn't believed. Like, I called my then husband and told him I got sick. They told me I gotta stay. He's like, come on, like I gotta go to work. What I'm supposed to do with the baby? I'm about to be dead, so I'm not sure the dick like
you would have been figuring it out 5 minutes later. Like you really didn't figure it out.
Yeah. And so I was just like, dang. Like, and so in that, it's just kind of healing my story. So don't nobody else have to go through it. Not another marriage has to go through it. Not another teenage mom has to go through it. Heck, not another single mom in an abusive kind of relationship. Like I used to get told a lot that, oh, you going through this because you're gonna help somebody else out. Oh, they got to
I don't want to hear that.
I don't care about that. Somebody else. I don't want to go through this.
But it's true. That's the wild part.
True.
Yeah.
Because now people are like, well, I gotta tell you about Like, my baby daddy, he on house arrest. Oh, he on house arrest? Okay, cool. This what he need to do. He need to do this, to do that, to do that. They're like, how you do? Oh, I did my time. But anyway,
Don't even worry about it, sweetheart. Don't even worry about it.
oh, he abusive. Oh, okay. This was the and so I was like, wow, it allowed that wall to come down to where I'm not a professional. I'm just your big sister doula. That's why I call it. I'm just your big sister. So we just gonna be talking about everything. Okay, you got a couple of STDs. What's it? I ain't got to. Come on, let me take you to the health department and get that. And baby, that ain't nothing. What I need you to do next time, and so it allows that we can be transparent. I can talk to you. I can tell you how real I am. I can tell you I didn't went through the stories because sometimes you just want somebody to understand. Now, if I don't understand and if I never went through that, I'm gonna tell you. I don't know. But what I do know is I wish somebody was kind of like, and I'm grateful for what I had. I'm grateful that I had positive experience outside of what could have came to me. Um, but we really get done bad because we just not taught. And we just sent into the hospital, just had a baby and come out. As long as it's healthy, you cool. Or we are given trauma stories from our past generations that had trauma stories that nobody was there for them and they had it worse. And so now they like, oh, girl, that ain't nothing, kind of thing. And it's like, no,
that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's still trauma. So when I hear you deserve better, it was just like, if we just need, he set it up. God set it up so lovely. Like, why we not sliding in that side? Like, we going over here. Like, yeah, Eve bit the apple, got it. But this ain't taking this far now.
A better, more excellent way.
He showed it so, like, just to see his creation and to see how he designed it for it to be in the like connection of that mom and baby and how that baby can feel. Oh, you stressed? I ain't coming nowhere. So you chill out. I'm chilling right here. Don't worry about
cozy in here.
We're good.
I'll be there when you get yourself together.
And I'll be ready to come out to you. And not knowing those things or not knowing how your body works and then feeling defeated. I feel like we are fed defeat with inductions, with C-sections, with epidurals, with medication and postpartum. Like, we just fed, oh, sorry, your body didn't work. You try to tell me my great God. Now, I understand some emergencies happen and we need to do some things, but he hit better than this. Like, his average is way better than this. And you trying to play my God like he didn't set this up to be this beautiful creation.
Right. And he so did.
Like everything that's needed, it needs to happen to where when I have this baby, the baby naturally knows to crawl up on my breast to get the milk that's going to activate my uterus to clamp back down to stop bleeding while it feeds my baby. And that whole time, that whole mama bear thing is being switched on. And now I'm in survival mode because my baby right here and now I got something to protect. You're trying to tell me, my God. It's like, dang, I done missed another one. I done missed another.
You just ran down my whole birthing experience in 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because and let me be a testimony that's it. Like, the worst, and it's not even that bad. The worst thing about my birthing experience is that my midwives were waiting on the contractions to be textbook, and they were never textbook. And then baby was on her way. And my mom is like, no, the baby is coming. And the first midwife walked in the door about 10 minutes after my water broke. And the baby was here about 15 minutes after that. Like, my midwife team spent more time cleaning up my house than they actually spent in the birthing process. Like,
and then that's another thing that's kind of like a conflict to being a doula and a midwife, because God designed it to where you could do it by yourself. But he also designed it for you to have community too. So he gave it both ways to where it was like, the midwives didn't come. That wasn't stopping nothing. Body was like, wait.
I got downstairs and the midwife had literally just walked in the door. And I'm like, listen, ma'am, I gotta poop. She's like, no, please don't push. Please don't push. Look, there's a baby's head right there. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I've been in labor since about 1 a.m. this morning. Get in, 2.5 contractions, boom, boom, she's here.
Yeah.
Like in the pool. I almost felt cheated because I wanted to spend some more time in the pool.
Can
like,
we not stay a little
listen,
longer?
can I just be in here for like an hour? I'm a pool baby. Like, I like taking baths. Give me a night. That's why I wanted to be at home. So I can sit in some warm water and just ease on through this labor. Well, listen.
Yeah.
That midwife said I had a textbook first birth. Like, nobody could have coached me through that any better. And I had no idea. For real, I didn't know what I was doing. But I did know.
And I think that's the only scariest thing about birth is because, especially if you're a first time or any time, because every birth is different, you walk this path of the unknown, but you trust in your body and listening to your body to do that. And I don't think we know our body enough to trust it.
Yeah.
Or even trust that God got me.
That was it. That's all I could. That's what I ran through my pregnancy with, was like the thought process of, God, you created my body to do this. You created my body to do this. So I trust you enough to make sure that you see us through and make sure that you get it done the way that you designed it to be done.
I be blaming God all day. You did this. That was on you. I ain't even mad for this, big dog. That was you. So
yeah,
I listen. That's on you.
It's an easy blame.
I love it, and I think that's how I go into every birth. Like, I have to know. Yes, I have my training, and yes, I have my additional continual education. But at the end of the day, no matter how the room need to be shifted, because I'm not always going in there trying to wear clothes on. I'm trying to fight the battles with the hops. I don't want
up your boots.
Yeah, like put it on your backpack. And so I'm not trying to be confrontational when I come to the hospital. I don't want that for you. I don't want that space. I want it to be smooth and peaceful atmosphere. But then knowing that these people are coming to a job. You are experiencing a life event. They come to work. So I need to get both of us on the same page, that they're realizing that they're experiencing a life event too.
Yeah.
What you experiencing this life event, and you're not treating this like your job. Right now.
Right.
And so I think that's the hardest thing. And then when I come in, I'm not trying to dominate the room. This is your story. So if I can be in the corner, if I could just be that cheerleader that's like, let them say no, I got your back. If it's just that, I mean, we don't know how to ask for support. We don't know what, and so whatever we get, we think that's support. But then we know when we're not being supported, but we don't know how to give you a list of, say, if you do this, you do that, unless I really think on it.
And then you get a phenomenal doula that shows you what
Listen,
real support is.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna break it down.
And
I'm gonna break it down.
You
in
realize
every way.
that support can get better, and you deserve that better support.
And you deserve that better support all the way around.
Yeah,
all the way around. You deserve that birth story you wanted. You deserve that outcome you wanted. If you wanted to breastfeed that baby, you deserve that. I think it was just only the grace of God that when I was 16, I breastfed my daughter till she was a year old. And so I don't remember nobody else doing it, and fault me if I'm wrong. But I would nurse at school. I'd go down to the nurse office and pump and have milk. My mama would come up through the day if she ran out of milk, kind of thing. Like, all my teachers was on board, students was on board. It was phenomenal, to where I would go to football games. My mama had a thing that I think this was her way of birth controlling me. But if that baby can't go, you can't go. And so if you going somewhere, that baby should be able to go. Oh, okay, sure, come on, baby,
strap her up. Come on, let's go.
Put her in the backpack. We got to go. And so I would go to games. It would be at games, junior in high school, just breastfeeding my baby,
handling your business.
And it would just be so normal. My friends treated me normal. Nobody treated me like, what are you doing? And so I was just like, wow, I really had that beautiful experience at such a young age, where you get so much stereotypes. Y'all can have that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see how much support I got at 16, but you could still have that.
It sounds like there's also something to making space for yourself and not cowering to what society says. Because it from what I'm hearing, it's like, you know, we know the Bible says, for the footsteps are ordained, right? So God already knew what your story was gonna be like. You were just walking in it.
Yeah.
That was literally it.
Yeah.
You just walked in it. And so that was your norm.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of us question what our norm is supposed to be based off of what the world says versus based off of what God has already said.
Yeah.
If his word is true, then just walk in his word and be okay with that.
And I think that's one of the things that's how I can differentiate my births, because my first two births, I wasn't in the healthcare system like that. I, you know, for whatever reason, I just didn't go.
Right.
And so I didn't have that influence. I was just like, okay, we're just gonna have to go where we go. And then it wasn't until I did get in the healthcare system, because I'm like, oh, I got my husband insurance. We have to use the good kind. That I had more influence. And it was more like, okay, to the last end was like, okay, now y'all battling my faith. Like, just be cool with I said my God got it. Like, I don't want to meet with the whole NICU team and all the surgeons, and I don't want to meet with them. God cool, he good. Like, God ain't gave me no worry, no fear, we straight. And they're like, yeah, but we just gonna have the baby at Children's Mercy. So I delivered at Children's Mercy. And I'm like, I didn't even know Children's Mercy had a room. Y'all got rooms? And they was like, yeah, because he's gonna need to go right over to this NICU right after to help him breathe. And I'm like, okay, but I don't think so. Baby came out fine. I said, so yeah, keep the plastic on all that. Okay, because we're not paying for none of that. I told you how we good, found out. But yeah, just walking into
A
it.
miracle.
So, for me in my midwife journey, you kind of hear people tell a story about how their great grandmother was into it, or someone in their family was into it and got passed down to them, and that's how they got the calling. And so I was like, I need a calling story. Like, I need to be had called. Like, it had been chosen and called in the whole package. And I was like, oh, I got that. Like, and so my family in Cuba only speaks Spanish. No, one uncle broken English, my brother broken English. Don't have a whole conversation. Me, no Spanish at all. Right. And so I feel like every time I go over once a year. I feel like God just gives me this special gift, and I just get it. And so I'm explaining to them what I do for work, and they're telling me they get it. And then they were like, oh, that's so interesting, because your grandmother, your great grandmother, delivered all 9 of her babies at home, because before it became illegal. Wow. So she had 9, I believe 8 or 9 at home, sets of twins, all the whole thing, before it became illegal in Cuba, and then went to the hospital for her last one. Wow. But she was the go-to person in the community for when you're pregnant. You went to my great grandmother and found that information. So I was like, okay, I be having a story. Right. Okay. It's there. It's there. Yeah. And so I was just like, okay. I walked in it, but then I almost just let it go. So a few months ago, I had my first ever infant demise, and baby maybe came to earth fine and died maybe a couple hours later. And when I found out, I was just devastated. It was my first ever. I was just broken. It was a wrap for me. And I was just like, God, how do you let this happen? We came. She stinks. How you gonna let this how you gonna let this happen, God? Like, they told me their story, how they wasn't believers and was in the world, and then once they converted and submitted over to God, they became pregnant. Wow. But they had been married for so long, and it just didn't work out until that moment. And then I'm like, okay, God, like, and we was praying and we was doing all the things. Right. Like, how you let this baby die? Like, come on, God, like, granted, you know, like, and so I took that hit to where it was like, I took it personally. Like, it was something I did. And I was just like, okay, no, I'm done. It's over. I didn't want to go to the funeral. I didn't want them to see me again. I didn't want them to connect me with their baby. Yeah. And so I wasn't gonna go. I did bad. I didn't want to go to births. I didn't want to go to visits. I don't want to see no baby. I didn't want to hold a baby. I didn't want to look at a baby. None of the things. And the funeral was coming up, and they asked if I wanted to go. And I was just like, I don't know.
I would prefer not to.
I don't want to go. And I was like trying to talk myself into going, and needed to see some postpartum babies. We was towards the end of our services.
I gotta pee.
And
I gotta pee.
Yeah, you did.
No, you.
Yeah.
That's what you trying to say.
Yeah. And so I went to go see one of the babies, and he was just talking to me. About 3 months old. And was just talking, blabbing off, just going. His grandma was like, what the heck? This boy don't say nothing. His mama came in there. His mama was like, oh, if anybody else see you right now with this baby, they'll be mad. Like, he don't fool with nobody. He don't talk to nobody. I never heard him do all this. And he was just... And so I started talking to him, like, you miss me? He was like, yeah. I said, did you say what little baby? And we were having a conversation. And his mama and his grandma seen it and was like, he is really talking to you. And I was like, oh my God, okay. And then the next day I had to see another postpartum baby. And the same story happened. And she said, oh, he love you. Look at he just giggling. She had to FaceTime her husband. Was like, look at this new baby. Look at this baby acting with Delia. And he was just a smiling and a drooling on me. And I said, maybe. But I always connect babies love me anyway. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe. I went to this Bible study, and I was just supporting a young lady. She was starting off having a Bible study. And I was like, I'm going to go. Even though I was just not in the mood for it. I didn't want to get out of bed. Like, I took full depression from it. And people would check in on me. I wouldn't respond back. And they was just like, this ain't Delia. Like, come on. Like we need you to come. Through the stages of grief. You need to come through. And I'm in the Bible study, and I'm just like, okay, whatever, God, whatever. And the lady is explaining something, and she's talking about the Bible study. She started explaining something. She was like, it's kind of like who that person is, with somebody pregnant, and then somebody with them, and they just help them and teach them and stuff like that. It's just, and then somebody was like, a doula. I wasn't gonna say nothing. I was like, she gonna figure out the word on her own. Get somebody else to do me. I'm not saying nothing because I'm over here being skeptic anyway. It's just like, yeah, like a doula. Mm-hmm. This y'all season to be doulas and birth things out. I just melted. It was a wrap. And then the young lady said, because we were Facebook friends, she said, Delia, you're a doula. And I was like, is there a doula in the room? Really, God? Mm-hmm. This really? What we doing? This what we doing right here? You was gonna call me out. I'm in this room full of ladies. I don't know these ladies. You gonna talk to me directly. You couldn't holler at me outside or nothing. Because that was for you. That's the intentionality of God. In the way it was spoken, I can't repeat it, but it was just like, it's time to like really birth that thing. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, and I'm very transparent. Anytime I feel like God has spoke and used somebody, I'm going to tell them. And I was like, oh my God, this is the situation I'm going through. And the way God I was like, okay, now, God, just call me when I leave here. No, you put my business down like here. On Front Street. And so that's when I said, okay, even though it was some good things, even in the tough, okay, you could still use me in those tough seasons to an impact where I'm just like, that was the ultimate of the ultimate, losing life. And for you to use me like that, and for them to see me and speak still like, but you carried us in that. You held us in that. And when we think about her and her life, we think about you. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, oh, okay. So you're part of that journey. Yeah. I never imagined. Yeah. Yeah. That's incredible, though. That's incredible. Mm-hmm. It's so God. And, it sucks, mm-hmm. right? Because death is never easy. Yeah. But God knows. Yeah. He knows all. Mm-hmm. So, I'm praying that family has peace. Yeah. Absolutely. And continued peace. The peace that surpasses all understanding. And they had, when I seen him at the funeral, I ended up going to the funeral. And he told me that I told him how it just hit me. And I was like, I'm about to quit. I'm done. And he said, no, you're not. You meant for this. and it would hurt me to hear that you quit because of this. Like God got so you had to go through it. And he was like telling me, and I'm like, how is this man so strong right now? And he's like, you had to see this side. You had to see this side to see that you can get through this too. Yeah. Like just like we getting through this, you gotta get through this too, and you had to see this side. And I was just like, you're so right because I knew I'm not gonna take the fast track to midwifery. There's a fast track to midwifery. You knock it out, do your births, crazy life. Check the boxes. Check the boxes, get it done, and you get into it. And I knew for sure I'm not gonna do that because if it gets tough, baby, I need a backup. Who's the backup? It ain't on me, is it? Like I don't want the responsibility right now. I already got my littles. Like I don't need that too many text messages. I could be like, now come on, drink the water, not the juice. Just come on. But and so I knew that I wouldn't go out and do my own practice because I knew I wasn't experienced enough to just take that fast track and do it. And for him to say that, I was like, yeah, you're right. You're right. Because I don't want it to get tough and be like, oh no. I only wanted rainbow, cotton candy, and sprinkle burst. I didn't want gutter to gutter. And it was like, no. You can save the bitters, God. Yeah. But the bitters are important. Yeah. Yeah. The bitters are medicine. Mm-hmm. Jesus. Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's heavy. That's heavy. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to transition. Because this has been a rich conversation. Okay. It has. It's been a rich conversation. And I mean, this is my last question because you answered all the rest of the questions. Okay. You already answered the rest of them. There's no any other question would be for repetitive. Okay. Okay. Would be what is a scripture that carries you daily, or you could say what is a scripture that you go into births with, like when you go to a birth. It's something that you lean on. I think it's a combination of scriptures. I can't really pinpoint one out, and I try to. For births, I just know God, you created all this. Mm-hmm. Baby Jeremiah, you knew me before I was formed in my mother's womb. And so I trust that whole pregnancy with God. God, whatever comes up in this pregnancy, you already knew it before that baby came up in him. Mm-hmm. And so you knew whatever lesson that's in it, whatever needs to be, whatever, you'll reveal it. Right. You'll reveal it. And so that gives me peace of knowing, like, okay, it wasn't nothing I did. It wasn't nothing she did. It's nothing he did. God, that was God's plan. Because if you wanted to move it and shift it and change it, and he could have did all of that. Right. And so that's the biggest one for me, to keep me to know my role. So I think some people is like, oh, I stay in my scope. I stay in my scope. And God, all that, and that's you know, kind of thing. Knowing that whole transition of it all, that's you. Yeah. That ain't, I'ma just, however you want to use me, you know what I'm saying? But that's, you already knew it. You already had that plan. Even for that baby or for that mom and helping their relationship. Mm-hmm. Like you already knew you wanted them to have a healthy relationship. Right. That's why you had chose somebody that's a mother like I am. Yeah. You know, seeing God, you want that marriage to work out. You want that relationship to work out. And so that's why you chose her to have that doula. That was gonna say something. And baby, I get in the business. I got and she know I love her. One of my doula clients, and for me, I didn't my mom just had my brother, older brother. My dad had multiple children, but we were never raised together. And so I always yearned for a big family and a lot of siblings, and a lot of sisters. Like I wanted sisters. Like, oh, that must be so. I would look at people. I would go to friends' house and have sisters and just watch them. Like, look at you guys. So exciting, right? And so that's why I wanted to help with the kids. Cause I was like, oh, they're gonna have siblings, and they just, I'm gonna just love it. And then I realized, like, oh, my clients, they can be my sisters, because I'll be their big sister and we'll do the things. So I had a couple, and it was a young couple, had their baby, and they would go into it a lot. Mm-hmm. And the roles have switched where mom's working and dad's at home. But dad's being a great provider at home. But then mom's jealous of dad at home and getting to see baby do all these things and baby bonding with it. And they get into it. And it was so funny because I normally switch to the role view, swapped and switched. And I would tell them, if you need, and I would tell him too, if you need me, call me. because she not listening. When you talking, she not listening. So call me because I'm a hip, and they will call me. There'll be a mess of arguments, and will call me and just be like, and he tripping and this, and I'll come over and like, oh, he just wants you to talk to him.
Come on, wise counsel.
He just wants you to talk to him.
Come on.
Instead of going straight to the baby, he wants you to talk to him and still do date nights here at the house. And he been talking to a baby all day.
Right.
He want to talk to another human being. Tell him about your day, and they will just be like, oh yeah. I'm calling Delia. What you say? I'm calling Delia. Both of them like, oh, well, I got a call, and they was both calling. I was like, can y'all just somebody? I'ma just come over because y'all both are on my line. I'm just come over and we'll talk this thing out. And so to see that and to see how they could have broke up or they did break up and then they called Delia, and then now they get like healthier and relationship is just like, okay, yeah, okay. So you're not just a doula, you also wise counsel. Listen, and it's invaluable. I'm like, go ahead, go with my grains. That's my grains. I'm like, it ain't going nowhere. There's a little wisdom right here. So, just and I never place value on it. It's such a safe space. Because it's not just a safe space that you're creating, right? We have the worldly. We're creating this safe space for you to be who you want to be. Yeah. But there's something about a safe space spiritually where you can trust somebody with your covenant. Because that's a big deal. Yeah. Like being able to trust somebody with the covenant that you created with God, and that God trusts you with that he knows that the covenant that he has with those two is good with you enough that he'll point them in your direction to make sure that covenant continues. And that used to always get me because I used to like, I gotta advertise, I gotta be up there. And so whenever I'm not advertising, I get clients, and I'm like, well, how you hear from me? And just like, okay, maybe I need to zone in on that area. They're like, oh, I prayed. And I had asked God, send me somebody that's gonna really, be there for me. And then I searched through it and I see your name. And I'm like, okay. Hey, God is the best plug and then it helps because then now this whole pregnancy we can talk about how great God is, and I don't have to like, say it within. We can say it out loud. We can talk about it out loud, and we can talk about how this is what his design was for you to do. So it's easier talking about first when I'm able to bring in the one who created it all. So I had a mom who, and I have kind of like a thing where I just want to help everybody. If I was a millionaire, everybody getting cars, everybody getting, I'm gonna set y'all up right. Yeah, I got y'all. But she had 6 children and the relationship wasn't working out, and she was just telling me all the things of how everything's not working out and it's just no hope. And as much as I wanted to give her resources and tell her all the things that she could do, I was just like, because I don't want to leave with the heaviness, because I want to fix everything. So I was just like, can we pray? Yeah. I mean, like, I ain't got nothing else to offer you. Can we pray about this? And to pray and to say, God, you see your daughter. You see what she's going through. And she's going to have to experience one of those life events that bring us down to it. But at least let her know that she just going to have to. You know what I'm saying? That she good until she experienced that moment. And then once she experienced that moment with you, then, it's up from there. But I was able to leave without that on me of knowing, okay, I helped. And sometimes that's the only help I can do is lead you to one that be helping me. Like, I don't know, but I be hollering at him, but he be doing it for me. So maybe, because, I might not have the answers, but I know who do. And that's the best. It's the best resource, honestly, you can give people something. I don't have to look up a number. I don't have to call and confirm. Like, they still be giving out? No. He's still... Like, is he available? Yeah, he's available. Yeah. He's absolutely... No waiting list? Like, oh, okay, cool. So, yeah. You can't forget the busy tone. They ain't gonna put you on hold. They got you. Okay, all right. Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate this conversation. I appreciate you. I absolutely pray that the people that need to hear it hear it. I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for having me. This has been another amazing conversation with You Deserve Better and the owner of Your Fruitful Womb. Thank you. We do have a little gift for you. Oh, I got a gift. Oh, I got a gift. That's that gift.
I know, and listen. That's exactly that's how I wrap you too.
Ooh. Oh, this is nice. I like this.
So that is our classic tee. You deserve better on the front. We got our logo, our crown on the side because as we started off as King You and Queen You Deserve Better, which I may go back to that design because I like being able to call out the King and Queen in everybody, but King of King, Lord of Lords is what we stand on. And so each design either has on the inside or somewhere because your word is hidden, right? So like on this jacket, it's in here.
Okay.
Isaiah 55:8-9 on the shirts, it's on the inside him. And that's what our line is rooted in.
I love that.
So, you can't always see the roots, but they're there.
Yeah.
Right? And it's just you deserve better. Your ways are higher than our ways. Your thoughts are higher than our thoughts. So no matter what, the highest thought that you could have for yourself, you could have for your birth, you could have for your pregnancy, you could have for your labor and delivery, God is going to give you better. Yeah. He's going to want better for you. And that's just the bottom line. Yeah. So in all facets of life, but today, you know, pregnancy, labor, and delivery, postpartum experience. I like to say post-pregnancy. Okay. But God wants better for you. Yes, God wants better for us, and you absolutely deserve it. So absolutely. We're signing off. We'll talk to you later.